welcome back. We travel on over to see our friend Mike Eppel through the virtual Skype lines. Good morning to you, Mike.
Hello there, Melanie. How are you?
Doing well. Okay, so let's, as we always do, begin with the numbers, and this is going to be kind of a good temperature check on what we're doing with the economy on a global scale.
Yeah, it's really a reality check from the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development out of Paris. They look at individual nations, the global economic picture, and what they see is a major downturn this year because of the global pandemic. World economy expected to contract by 6%. We have not seen these types of numbers in generations for the most part. And this is the big warning here, if there's a second wave, then things are going to be even that much worse, maybe 7.5% globally. The Canadian economy likely to drop 8% this year because we're also getting hit by the falling price for oil. Huge portion of our economic output. So all of these things combined, you know, we've got a long way to go for the recovery to actually be in place.
Oh, dear. We just talked about this in the news portion here about the Canada-U.S. border likely to be remaining shut down until the end of July. So what is that going to mean in the whole business scheme of things as well?
Well, it's you know, peak of travel season, right? The tourist trade, so to speak. We've heard about, you know, promoting stay-at-home travel more or less here in Canada. But yeah, if you've got a seasonal property, or you know, in the States, a lot of Canadians do go to the U.S. in the summertime for their vacations, and that is pretty much going to be off the plans here for, you know, the next month, if not longer. The provinces apparently, specifically out west, have been looking at the numbers cross-border, seeing COVID-19 cases on the rise. So it's, you know, still probably too early to resume normal flows of travel across the border sites.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would probably agree with that decision, at least for now, to be erring on that side of caution. But yeah, if you have a property south of the border, you're not so pleased. Let's talk a little bit about some of the numbers here. Nasdaq, what do we have here? First time ever. I'm looking at your notes here. Oh, I'll let you deliver this news. Okay, it's massive.
Above 10,000. Hit a record yesterday for the second day in a row. Apple's at a record. Microsoft's at a record. Amazon's at a record. Facebook is close to a record. You think it actually kind of makes sense that these tech names are the leaders, because what have we been doing? We're talking over Skype. We're using technology. We're working from home. Technology has been about the only thing that has seen growth in the economic shutdown. So when we talk about why are the markets up as much as they are, in some cases, it kind of does make sense.
It does. It does. And finally here, Mike, we talked about this on the break, and I gave you a flat-out answer. You asked, are you ready to go back to the movie theaters? And I said, oh, no. No.
Yeah, AMC, one of the world's largest theater chains, says early July they are going to reopen most of their locations in the UK and the US. Got Christopher Nolan movie coming out. Disney's Mulan is coming out, and they're talking about, you know, how do you physically distance within a theater? You're going to see people sitting, you know, more or less away from each other, so they're not going to be filled or anything of that nature. Also, AMC saying they are teaming up with Clorox, which has also had deals with the airlines related to safety measures, you know, wiping down seats and things like that with disinfectant between showings. So it's not just going to be sweeping up the popcorn. You're going to be wiping down all the seats as well.
That's a lot of work.
This company lost $2 billion in the latest quarter because they've been shut since mid-March.
Would you go? July?
Boy, oh boy. I think a lot of people have, you know, realized, you know, with a big screen TV, you know, it's not the same as going out, you know, from a social standpoint, but it's not bad.
Yeah. So a non-answer. Okay.
There you go.
Thanks, Mike.
Maybe.
Okay. Thanks, Mike. Take care.